Hello everybody and welcome back again to Let's Play Disco Elysium. And yes, we are still here at the same spot talking to this guy, our suspect. Although I guess at this point we don't really need to call him a suspect anymore because he confessed. So yes, he's our killer. And I still have, I think, at least one more dialogue option that I can use. And I have another skill check. It's a composure check, so I have already changed my outfit to maximize my composure. And I also have a few skill points that I can invest, so maybe I should do that before we continue to talk. I hope my composure is high enough for that skill check, so I'm not going to invest anything into that. So how about... let's put another point into logic, because I had to give up 1 point for my super stardom. So let's even it out again. And speaking of evening it out, the only skill I haven't increased at all so far is electrochemistry. So maybe in the interest of balance and fairness, you will finally get 1 point as well. And 1 point is going to be an emergency point as always. And yeah, I don't actually have any quests anymore except the one that I skipped. How am I looking on my points, by the way? I am such a superstar cop, it's unbelievable. Not much of an apocalypse cop, 5 sorry cop, 5 boring cop, 21 communist and 16 moralist and 8 ultra liberal, 0 fascist. I'm still not entirely sure how I gain all these good cop, bad cop points, but I guess it's a good number, maybe. Anyway, let's talk to this guy again. Can you please talk? Stop walking around, just talk.
The old
Okay,
man stares despondently at the logs. It's like he's forgotten you're there.
I want to ask again about the people you don't like. Is there anything left
His lip
to ask?
curls into a sneer
Okay.
at the memory.
Apparently I'm done with all of this already.
Glad. It's all gone.
Which means the only thing left is a skill check, assess his body language, and then to arrest him. Okay, in that case I suppose I will do the skill check first. The chances are pretty good now. +1 more than poor health, +1 disturbed motorics, +1 possible neurological damage. Alright, let's assess the body language.
What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. For a man who's spent 44 years hidden in the urban wild.
I guess he is surprisingly okay.
Indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable of expressing complicated ideas. Above all, he seems animated.
Animated by what?
It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads, as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface, unconstrained by his nervous system.
Could it be dementia?
You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. When his thoughts move, they are lucid, keen even, not senile.
Okay, well, apparently that's all I can do here, so let's finish the examination. Mr. Dross, are you okay? How is your memory?
No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
Insane people? I mean, the only other people around here is the 2 of us, so I guess you must be talking about us, huh?
There it is again, erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too, of course.
Yeah, bouts of rage is a bit of an understatement. He's basically constantly in rage. But okay, apparently that's all I will get out of this skill check. So yeah, I guess the only thing left to do now is to arrest him. Josef Lilianovic Dross, you're under arrest for the murder of Alice Cortania.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
I said what? I don't think I promised you anything.
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand?
Thank you for doing like the formal part of this arrest. And he doesn't say anything to that.
Do you understand?
But...
Do you understand, sir?
No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He looks at the reeds, eyes submerged in growing terror. Suddenly he seems really upset by that fact. But I mean, he had to know that this was going to happen after he confessed to us, right?
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
First say, does it have room for 3? I mean, that's a good question. I hope it has.
Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here.
But?
But then, who watches him while you're coming back here?
I mean, that's a good question. Who watches him there while I come back for you? This is not a problem. It kinda is a problem. We have to find someone to do that.
You come back for me? How about I go and send a boat back for you?
Yeah, but I mean, that doesn't really solve the basic problem that someone has to watch him, so I don't know about that.
What is this farce? This is a fucking farce. I can't.
Lillian, you could ask her maybe.
I don't know if she's qualified for that, but sure, maybe I can just ask the net picker to watch him.
This is no harmless old man.
The lieutenant shakes his head.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
What are you talking about? Well, apparently there's no voiceover for this text. Below the confusion and rage, a fit of jamais vu like yours, a thought passes, more pressing matters take its place.
No, listen. Listen now.
Okay, Perception is really, really adamant that I listen to something and that I do it now. You could come back for me once you've taken him to the precinct. I could come back for you once I've taken him to the precinct. Yeah, I feel maybe we can discuss the details of this later. This is probably not important now. Let's hear what Perception wants to hear. I mean, the chances are pretty good now. 92%. Let's do it.
There it is again. To your north, as it has been since you came to the coast. The reeds whisper, stalks rubbing against each other. But then, in the middle of it...
Yes, what is it?
Something completely different. It sounds like a bow, very slowly being drawn against the strings of a violin. A very small violin, made of reeds and rushes.
Yeah, I think I have been hearing some strange noises all this time. Very high-pitched, like little squeaks.
Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat.
Okay, Kim is still talking about the boat. Shush, Kim, do you hear that? Okay, so you're saying we can all fit in there. Yeah, there seems to be something somewhere around here. Perception might be right about that.
What?
What are you talking about? Is this really us?
What does he mean?
Your skin crawls.
Okay. What is it? Oh, yep, there's something moving here. Look at that. What the hell is that? Is it like the
delicate tangle of
cryptid?
arms and legs
it is.
unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
The Insulindian Phasmid. Okay, it's not the Calda Mama Dakwa. It's the one that Lena saw as a kid. And that's a different one, right? The Calda Mama Dakwa is the one that is like just a wave form. or a sound wave or something. Okay, well, apparently at least this cryptid does exist, assuming that Harry isn't imagining that. Let's blink, just to be safe.
It's still there, an unfolding mechanism of reed-like chitin, hovering in place.
Okay, let's point to it.
What are you talking about?
The old man looks at the reeds, then at you. Okay, he can't see it apparently. But I mean, maybe his eyesight isn't great. And again, I think they specifically mentioned that, you know, he must have good eyesight if he can still, like, use the rifle and the scope. So, I don't know. Yeah, it's like a giant stick insect.
There's nothing there.
He looks confused. Okay, what I would like to know is if Kim can see it. I mean, Kim's eyesight is also kind of impaired, but at least he has glasses.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head.
Okay.
You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand move to your holster to grab the gun.
There is, I see it. I've finally gone insane. Put your head in your hands. Well, I hope not. I hope it's actually there and someone else can see it.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
Okay. What about you, Kim? Can you see it? Please say yes.
I can see it.
Oh, he can. So it's real. It's not just Harry's imagination. Okay, well, apparently this cryptid is not a cryptid. It's real. And it is the Insulindian Phasmid. Amazing.
4 simple words. Thank God. If he can see,
Yes.
then you're not insane.
I'm glad.
But that means
That means...
it's really there, spinning
Yes.
slowly, in absolute silence. Its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
Okay, I just got a new task. Inspect the Phasmid. I will certainly do that. Go to it carefully, it may be dangerous. Approach the insect first, get close to it. Okay, also, I guess I don't need all that composure anymore. Let's switch back to my standard outfit. I think the shoes and the pants, and that's all that I changed. And yeah, the rest can stay as it is. Okay, let's inspect it carefully.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you.
All right.
Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks.
That is a very specific description of that sound.
The hiss is different from the strings you heard before. It says something else in a lower pitch.
Okay, I can approach carefully. Electrochemistry. And even though my electrochemistry is actually kind of bad, the odds are pretty good because I have some bonus points. But first, maybe let's listen carefully. Okay, that sounds interesting. Anyway, this must be the Insulindian Phasmid. I mean, it says so in the dialogue, but it would fit the description that Lena gave us.
It is.
The lieutenant whispers behind you. You hear the familiar ring of his jacket unzipping, slowly, painstakingly so. What are you doing?
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds a piece of milled aluminium. He begins to pull it open extremely
it's a camera.
carefully. It's the camera.
I see. Yeah, maybe we should take a photo of it.
No, the flash will scare the creature off. Warn him now.
I mean, that's actually a good point as well. Kim, whisper, the flash is loud, it won't like that. Are you sure you won't scare it off? Yeah, maybe you should not take a photo?
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
He continues to pull the lens open.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the Phasmid's limbs. A series of ultrasonic clicks fills your ear.
I am very conflicted here. On the one hand, I think we should take a photo. On the other hand, I don't want to scare it off. So maybe let me approach it first.
I won't be one of those fools who didn't take a picture.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. He has stopped fiddling with the camera but does not put it down.
You see the Phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. Its motions are quick, sudden.
Whisper, who cares what they think, Kim? Just listen to me. Yeah, don't care about them.
Understood. Of course.
Okay. Maybe we can take a photo later, but first I want to inspect it.
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air, slowly.
Okay, so maybe before I approach, I will try to say something to it quietly. Something like, "Hey, don't be afraid, you exist." I don't know, I don't think it matters because it's an insect, so it won't understand. Let's just say hey.
The creature tilts its tiny head to the side and appears to look at you. It is incredibly light, like the slightest gust of wind should blow it away. But it doesn't.
It doesn't. Okay, now let's try to approach carefully. I have +3 because of Lena's childhood experience and +1 because I laid the pheromone on thick. I knew this would be useful at some point. I mean, I didn't, but it was just funny to do it. So now it's actually going to come in handy. So yeah, let's try this. There we go. Again, that was pretty much a guaranteed
Slowly,
pass.
with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the Phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. Sweat drips from your brow, soaking your chest. You reek of it, your chemicals. The tracheal system on the creature's abdomen expands in front of you to take in and expel air. It's smelling you.
Well, I should smell pretty good. At least to the creature.
Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
Look behind you, it's smelling me. Raise your hand slowly. Hello, I'm Harry. I don't really know who I am. Whisper, okay, Kim, take the picture. Yeah, it seems to be smelling me.
Maybe it is real, the pheromone.
The lieutenant's mouth is agape. Yeah, I think the pheromone may actually work.
About now, he is ready to believe in anything. The insect's head is crowned with reed-like scales, the shape of seed heads. They rustle as the air moves. The ventricles at its abdomen continue expanding, like lunglets, breathing you in, your sour, greasy semiochemicals on the breeze.
Okay, let's raise the hand slowly.
The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes detect motion, glittering. The world stands still around you. Suddenly, there is silence.
Let's raise the other hand too.
As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving independent of each other. as if each has a mind of its own. They are white, like stalks of porcelain, knitting above you, praying to you.
Whisper, that's right, pray. Don't pray to me, I'm nothing. Put your hands down instead. Yeah, you don't need to pray to me.
The reed creature does not stop its stridulations. It towers above you, parting the reeds it emerged from. Tuft-like structures still rustle on its joints. Perhaps it is preparing to eat its god.
Where did this come from, Half-Light? Hello, I'm Harry. I don't really know who I am. Again, I don't think the Phasmid is going to understand you, but whatever.
No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you.
Stand on your tiptoes and look more closely. Yeah, sure.
You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming, slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish.
I mean, I'm not sure if this is normal for this kind of being and creature. So I guess it's just what this Phasmid does. It foams.
The faintest smell, like you've never felt before. Like burnt roses.
Yeah, Kim, it's foaming.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
Well, good point. Maybe I should be more careful.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one, letting out that same smell, like summer burning.
Okay, we have another skill check here. Tell me, what are you doing? Inland Empire, +2. Did not give up on Phasmid, +1. Knows of parthenogenesis. Yeah, I don't know. I think, Kim, you can take your picture now, and then I will try the skill check. And I hope it's not going to run away.
Okay.
With a slow ring of metal, the lieutenant slides the lens open and raises it to eye level.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated on you.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword. The Phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash. It stands frozen before you.
It actually looks even more impressive on this photo.
I got it.
You hear the lieutenant whisper as the creature's shape develops onto photo paper in his hand. A polychrome ghost of white streaks against the reeds and the sky, and you as a shadow before it. Slowly reach out and touch the creature's whisker. Carefully pet its scythe-like forearm. We got it, back off. I don't know. Maybe pet the forearm?
The limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. You feel a soft push could tip the creature over. Its hollow exoskeleton collapsing.
Okay, but apparently it has not escaped yet, so maybe the flesh didn't frighten it after all.
Warning!
Oh, well, but reaction speed is giving me a warning. Run your hand up the slender limb higher. Pull your hand away. I think I'm going to heed the warning, just in case. Pull the hand away.
A sudden shiver passes the limb. Looks like the creature is awakening. Wave by wave from its stupor.
Okay.
Some sort of countdown process is happening. That's all you have time to think.
Okay, so it may still try to run away. In that case, I will not touch the whiskers.
Another shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing. where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small black pearls of its eyes do not stray from you.
Okay, so now let's try this skill check as well. Tell me, what are you doing?
I exist.
And now the Phasmid is talking to me. Or maybe not, maybe this is actually just Harry imagining it. I think Inland Empire is more like his, I don't know how you want to call it. It's like visions and, you know, more like supernatural stuff. So it's probably not actually the Phasmid talking. But I will converse with it nevertheless. I exist too. I'm a detective. Is this a dream? What is happening? What exactly are you? I have to say goodbye now. I have no more thoughts. That was all. Okay, well, this is a statement of fact. I exist too.
Tell me what it's like for you.
Fire burning. It's wunderbar. I'm ill. If I tell you, what will happen? I don't know. Will anything happen?
Then I will tell you what it's like for me.
Okay, fair enough. For me, it's fire burning. For me, it's wunderbar. Which means wonderful, obviously. I'm ill. I mean, that would be a lie. So, let's go with I'm ill.
What is your illness?
My body aches, I'm bleeding. I'm ill in my head, I'm insane. That's how it is for me. Yes, you're talking to an insect. I think you're insane. In my heart, for me, it's sadness, input after input. I mean, all of it is kind of true, to be honest. But I think I'll go with the hard option.
For me, it is not like that. I have states, not the emotions. For example, I experience excitement at unexpected sugar rewards. But that is not important.
Okay.
Now I will tell you how it is for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness, being intruded upon, transient, dim, moist.
Intruded upon by what?
Shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations. A swarm of sounds, tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms. All speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul, and if I did, it would never ache.
Alright, sorry for this sudden interruption, but I just had an alarm going off for an appointment that I had yesterday, and it went off again today, so I had to go over there and switch it off. So, yeah, that was a sudden and rude interruption, but now let's continue where we left off. So, right, this is about wanting to be an animal. You're the type of animal I would like to be. I'm glad to be me, an incredibly sensitive instrument. The fuck is happening to me right now? I mean, I don't think Harry wants to be an animal, and I'm not sure if he's glad to be me, so I guess I'm going for option number 3 here.
I don't know. You're just a shadow for me. Far away, faintly transmitting, but for a curious smell.
Okay, so apparently I have to pick one of these options after all. Well, in that case, maybe he wants to be an animal.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. Why do you ask? No, I'm not. Why are you asking? I'm not sure if I really want to be an animal, to be honest.
Sometimes, when molting, I will grow a lost limb. One time something went wrong, and a small leg replaced the missing antenna.
That's absolutely nothing. A small leg. That's horrible. That's cool. I mean, being able to regrow limbs is kinda cool, to be honest.
No, the leg tried to move around independently, making it hard to walk.
Okay, well, that might actually be rather inconvenient. You don't have a foot there now. Okay, I don't want to hear more about that. Yeah, I'm willing to listen to more of this. This sounds very fascinating.
Yes. Thankfully someone ate it. The next time I molded, I grew an antenna again.
So someone ate the leg. Okay, very interesting. Anyway, what else do I have here as an option? I am a detective. Is this a dream? What is happening? Where does this come from? All this around us, the world. What exactly are you? Yeah, I don't know. I'm a detective.
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect?
Also that, the killer, I was born to detect you. I mean, I didn't even know this Phasmid existed until very recently. But I guess the killer...
He's in a bad state, deteriorating fast now. He thinks I am beneficial to him, but I am not. I only quicken his deterioration.
What do you mean by that? You're destroying him?
Very slowly, and only because he won't go away. It is meant to keep them from noticing me, to interfere with the pictures in their heads. But he has looked at me for too long, and I am destroying him.
Which means he has actually seen the Phasmid. And maybe just not recognized it for what it is. So what is this? Is this a dream?
No, you are awake. I am real. Light is forming me. This is real.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that you are real, but you are talking to me, and this is a little bit weirder than, the Phasmid existing. Where does this come from, all this around us, the world? I'm not sure if the Phasmid knows, but I guess it doesn't hurt to ask.
Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily.
Not even the birds. Okay, we need to know. Perhaps it's sent to us by a god. Then all we can do is beat our fist against it day after day with no answer. Yep, that's probably it.
You can also eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Yum yum. Or read.
I mean, that's one way to look at it.
Wait, so
So you look like a reed and you eat reeds. Too sensitive of a matter. I don't know. Let's ask it.
Yes, they don't mind.
Have you accidentally eaten another reed, Phasmid? That might be a little bit too sensitive, but my curiosity is piqued now.
Yes.
Oh.
I once cloned myself and ate the little ones. It was winter, and I woke up at the wrong time. It was an accident.
It was an accident. Okay, so you cloned yourself, which means it does reproduce by parthenogenesis, I suppose. So what exactly are you?
I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmodia, endemic to the Insulindia Insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molding, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with trash bins and boys.
So does this mean that you're like the only one of this species on this island because you just keep cloning yourself? You don't actually need any other partner?
I went unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. Also, by the soldiers of the revolution and the officials of the occupation. Even the Seminese islanders who came here first, but did not stay, have not seen me. I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions, until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Rebelshaw, district of Martinez, March 51.
You are pretty well informed about all of this, though. That's pretty insane.
No, you are. The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively medium life form, while it is you who are a total extreme madness. A volatile senior nerve system ominously new to the planet.
A volatile simian nervous system. That's an interesting way to formulate it. Ominously new to the planet.
The Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all.
So you're saying the Pale only came into existence after humans evolved? I guess they evolved anyway. So you think the Pale is caused or created by humans? Wait, the Pale is human-made? I don't have that kind of power. I don't know how I would do that, but I think that's what the Phasmid is implying.
It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. Its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind.
Yeah, but I mean, as I say, correlation doesn't equal causation. So are you sure that we have this kind of power?
You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing. Just by accident.
But how?
We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organisms first started breathing. Only much worse.
Okay, the oxygen holocaust. I mean, I believe I understand what they're trying to say here, but I think they got it the wrong way around. The problem wasn't when organisms started breathing. The problem was when the first plant-like organisms started to produce oxygen as a waste product. Because after a few million years the oxygen had filled the atmosphere, and then it would kill off the anaerobic organisms, which at that point was basically every organism, meaning they didn't need air. As a matter of fact, the oxygen was essentially poisonous to them. So that wiped off almost all life on the planet a few billion years ago, until some organisms evolved to breathe the air and then turn it into, carbon dioxide. And then, the life found a balance between oxygen and CO2. So it's kind of poorly explained here, if that's what they mean.
Instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
Okay, so basically we need something to balance off the thoughts we produce. I get it. But I mean, yeah, the trees are eating the CO2 that we produce. But originally it was the plants that caused the oxygen holocaust, because they produced the oxygen and that killed off all the anaerobic life until aerobic life came along and ate up the oxygen. Anyway, what do you mean, worse?
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if you misplace us all one day, or just forget?
Blink quick. Have I always thought this way? But I want to blink and undo 12 billion years of matter expansion. This is the gloaming I've been waiting for ever since I woke up in the hotel room. The gloaming. I've already forgotten the whole world once when I drank too much. That is true. I will be extra careful not to blink, stick insect, don't worry. I mean, at some point I have to blink, kinda. But yeah, I have already forgotten the whole world once.
So it is already happening. Soon, one of you will close your eyes and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
Kim, am I having a violent epileptic seizure? I hope not.
It doesn't look like that, no.
So what does it look like?
You're just staring at it.
Then I think I'm having a vision about the final fate of mankind. Yeah, it's probably a vision. Nothing, just looking at the stick insect. Everything is normal. Nope, I think I'm having a vision.
Okay. Is it somehow related to the case?
Probably not. Sort of. No, I told you what it's about, our fate. The case is meaningless compared to this. Laughed nervously. I have totally transcended the case. Yeah, I don't know. Could it be related to our case?
I think you should back away from the unstudied species now.
Yeah, probably I should. Also, I have no more thoughts, so that was all.
No, there is one more.
Is there now? No, there are no more thoughts. Of all the creatures I've met, you are the kindest. Of all the creatures I've met, you are the scariest. Of all the creatures I've met, you are the most beautiful. I don't know. Let's go with kindest.
Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you. That woman, turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. Do it for the working class.
For the working class. But I mean, that's actually good advice. Turn from the ruin and go forward. I will try.
She was middle class. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
So maybe that will convince Harry to give up on his ex-fiancée. She was middle class. Like, that's the worst thing you could say about her. Anyway, let's disengage slowly.
As you're turning away, the Phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface. And just like that, it's gone.
It's
Skating
gone.
away across the sea's calm mirror like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water. And something under it, in the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
A collection of items.
It's gone.
The lieutenant looks north with his hand raised to his brow. It can walk on water. What's that in the reeds? Yeah, apparently it can walk on water.
Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
And there seems to be something in the reeds.
Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
We should have a look.
What now?
The old man behind you repeats suddenly. He puts his hand into the ash. It's dirty and black.
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
Okay. Well, first of all, let me check on these items. Fairweather T500 helmet. Oh, is this the helmet to the armor that we've been looking for? And there's a scope. Okay, so there was a scope and it just ended up with the Phasmid somehow. Anyway, I'll take both of it. Alright, well, that was quite the experience. So, the Phasmid is real. It probably can't talk, but Harry seems to think it. I mean, the other explanation is that it can talk and only Harry can hear it, but obviously Kim hasn't heard anything, so we don't really know which of these two options is the correct one. But I think I'm going to make a cut here. We will talk to our suspect again in the next episode, and we will have a look at the items we just got, and then we, I guess, have to figure out how we get the suspect back to the mainland. But that's something for another day. So as always, thank you for watching, and see you again next time.